Hey everyone, Kirky here with Exis bringing you another solo leveling Arise video. This video is going to be tier list video. There are some units in this game that are pretty much useless, and we're going to go through those first. You know, you may think that you get dupes of some of the units free in the game that might make them more viable or better, but some of the skill sets are just not there to provide what you're going to need for the game. So the first unit that we're going to talk about is Kim Sang Shik. He's pretty much useless. He's got really bad range on his skills, and he does a little bit of he does decent break damage, but he's just not somebody that you're going to want play with. Where's my tier list? There it is. So we're gonna throw this guy useless. Okay. So the next unit we're gonna talk about is Park Byung-shik. All right. So he has very low HP. He does some decent damage, and the airbornes and knockdowns are okay. But he doesn't do anything any other unit can do. And every other unit pretty much does it better. Now, on to where's she at? Lee Jo-hee. All right. Now, her main role is healing. If you play the game at all, healing isn't a necessity for the majority of the game, but her healing is absolute garbage. She offers up an attack boost for the team, but it's only 3%. She has a minor mana recovery, mana boost, and this is just someone that I swapped out immediately, not someone I want to use. The next person is going to be Jo Hyuan. Sorry, I'm probably butchering most of these names. Moderate damage. And he can do some more extra damage to burn target, but this whole unit is pretty much lackluster. You're not gonna play with them. You probably level them up just to get some of the points for some of the events or whatever. But another garbage unit. So the next unit we're going to talk about is Han Song-yi. We're going to throw her up here and see. She has pretty good damage, especially for an SR. But there are a lot more water-based units that put out higher damage. She can shield herself, or add a shield, which is nice. She's fun to play because the way she maneuvers around the map or whatever. And there's actually a side quest series that you actually use her in. It's neat to watch her run around, but no. The next person is going to be Song Chi-yul. I'm sorry if I'm butchering these names. If they were American, British, European, something, I'd be able to pronounce it better. Now this unit is good against mobs. Has some pretty good AoE damage. You're not going to want to bring them against the boss. I guess this would be a unit that you use maybe as a free-to-play fill-in or something. Definitely not going to want to use them in Path of Destruction or any of the other modes. Now his at Ascension 3, his AoE skill, his range increases, making it a little bit more better and viable. But again, this is not a unit you're going to choose to put on your main team. All right. So Anna Ruiz. All right. She's another halfway decent water option with some good breaking potential. She does poison. She debuffs. If you have a lot of dupes of her, she is somebody that you can use. but you're going to want to put her around like a dot centric team. Again, nothing special. Next unit we're going to talk about is Huang Dongsuk. Excuse me. He's actually a halfway decent SR unit. He does good damage, has some good break potential. He also has stuns increase and can increase his HP. He can self-heal, and he gets a shield with his Ascension 3. Again, this is one of those units that you could, one of the free-to-play players could potentially use. He's not, the worst SR, but... So next up on the list, we're going to talk about Jinu. Where are you at? There you are, boy. All right. Now, this is a really good free breaking unit. Again, emphasis on free. He does stun. He has defense increases, and he is he's a halfway decent support unit. Again, free to play. This is definitely a viable unit. Next unit up is Kim Chul. This is also a good utility character. Also has stuns, and he's able to give the whole team a shield. He has damage reduction abilities, and he's a semi-useful tank. Again, this is going to be a free-to-play tank, depending on how your pulls go and what you pull for SSR units. Now we're gonna talk about our first SSR unit, and we're gonna throw him right down here in the seat. Here it's Wu Jinchul. He has, I believe, he has the lowest damage output of all the SSR units. Very good mobility, moves around, he's fast. He scales with defense, which kind of doesn't make any sense, but defense is one of the easier stats to get and build. One of the main drawbacks about that is there are no set bonuses that scale around defense, so you're going to be stuck with flat stats, and I mean, you can probably throw some HP sets on him or whatever, but I really don't think that anybody should be using this character. If you pull him, delete your account and re-roll. All right, so I'm going to split these next units up into B and A. I'm going to put the SRs on B, and the SSRs on A. I could have edited the layout of this. I do apologize, but I didn't. But just for the sake of this, the A and B tier are pretty much going to be the same tier for the rest of this. So the first units we have Park Hee-jin, and Park is actually a very good SR unit, very good support. She can increase the ultimate damage. She cleanses debuffs, and she gives power gauge boost to your party at Ascension 3. This is one of the units that you're going to want to get dupes for, because at Ascension 5, she will start the fight with her ultimate already fully prepared to go. Definitely a unit to put on your team. Again, these are some of the dupes that you're going to want when you pull your SR dupes. Next one is Nam Chae-young. This is one of the top water units in the game. She can break really good. She can freeze bosses, and you can get a lot of damage in without being at risk of getting attacked. This is a great choice for a support unit, for players that have a more aggressive play style. She's also good when you're trying to clear stages faster. Definitely recommend. Next unit is Kang Tae-shik. This is going to round out our SR units. It's a pretty simple character, very strong damage. His damage output is actually on par with some of the other SSRs up here on the list. Overall, good unit. If you lack some good SSR damage dealers, this is definitely the next person that you're going to want on your team. All right, let's move over to the SSRs. We're going to start this with Huang Dongsu. Where are you at? The potential with this unit will come out later, and there's certain bosses and certain pieces of content where this unit will shine. He can remove armor. His damage is pretty good. I believe this one scales off defense, which is weird for an SSR attacker. He's an overall good unit. Definitely recommend on your team, especially if you don't have any of the meta units up here. Next, we have Lim Tae Gyu, looking like a cowboy. So his ultimate offers very high damage potential, and it has the highest attack multiplier ultimate in the game. And if you manage to hit all 8 shots, you're going to do the most damage. You're going to need to learn boss mechanics while you're using this character, but you can put out probably the most damage out of any of the hunters with his ultimate. All around good unit. Definitely recommend. Who's next? Lee Bora. Which one are you? Lee Bora. Oh wait, I think this is one of the chicks I use. Yeah. This is one of the chicks I use. All right, so this is she has very good support DPS. She does a lot of damage, and she applies damage increase debuffs to the enemy at the same time. She pairs well with other dark units because she increases dark damage and she cleanses debuffs. A very good unit to pair with some of the other higher level units, and especially if you have your main character going the dark route like I do. All right, last one on this tier is Bake Yoon Ho. How you pronounce his name? This unit is hands down the best breaker in the game. Anytime you're on a boss, this is a must-have unit. And his whole kit scales off defense. I know we talked earlier about there not being any armor sets that scale with defense, but you throw defense on him with HP and he is not going to die. He does damage, breaks, great survivability, and he also decreases the defense of enemies. Probably one of the I'd say top 5, even though there's going to be more than I think 5 or 6 units above him. If you have him, bring him to the boss, any boss fight, and he'll get that boss broken a lot quicker than anybody else. All right, so now we're going to talk about some of the best units in the game. Meta. And the first person we're going to talk about, Seo Ji Woo. I use her on my team. Fantastic. Heck, probably the best water unit. When she comes in, she automatically gives you a shield. She can solo most of the content, like when you have a party of 3. I mean, great solo capability. Like I said, she provides shields for the team, and like her ultimate does a ton of damage. Dragon pops out, does some fucking crazy damage. Definitely recommend. She's probably my second favorite unit, or maybe third. We'll get to that in a second. Next unit on this list is Emma Laurent. And so this chick does it all. It's one of the only units that has cleavage too, which I like the fact that they didn't over-sexualize these characters. Although Jinu has those, those lines above her thigh, which is pretty good. All right, so she can support, break, do damage, has great AoE, damage potential. She serves as a top tier support for fire DPS, is able to increase fire damage and defense penetration for the team. She also applies burns. You will have no second thoughts about putting her on your team. Next one is going to be Choi Jong-in. I have not played with him. So this dude is one of the highest DPSs in the game. He applies debuffs on the enemy, applies burn. This is one of the units that you're 100% going to want to pair up with Emma. He doesn't have a lot of crit potential, but the damage that you're going to put out with him, just theory crafting off the top of my head, Choi, Emma, and Bake would be a great pair to have. Bake Yoon Ho, because anyway, the next unit on the list is also Bake Yoon Ho, but Silvermane. I pulled this dude just to have him. I actually have him leveled up, geared out. I haven't used him on a team yet, but he is also one of the best boss killers in the game. A lot of people might think he's not a great pick, but he's probably, like I said, one of the best units you want to use against bosses. His A1 will allow him to is essentially one that will just allow him to completely dominate and destroy everything. Definitely want him on your Path of Destruction team. Now, one of my other top 3 units is right here. This is Min Young-gu. Great support. Best support unit in the game, in my opinion. So this dude has really strong debuffs. When he uses his ultimate and you switch to another unit, or if he's as a hunter sub for your main character, he basically gives you a life steal. Every time you attack enemy, you gain life. This is the type of heal that you want in the game. This is one of the units that you want. You want him to pop in, attack a couple times, bust off his ultimate, and get out. That's his. That's where you're gonna want him in the game. And now, unfortunately, this tier list does not have the image for Che Hae-in. So we're going to pretend Che Hae-in is right here. I do apologize. I noticed this about halfway through. Not going to remake the video. Want to call me lazy? Call me lazy. Whatever. This is one of my favorite units. She is exactly what this says, broken. So she stacks crit. Does huge amounts of damage. She has an unhealable debuff, which will stop bosses and really bosses from healing. It works on enemies too, but you really don't have to pay attention to that. But she is hands down best unit in the game. If they do what most games normally do, she'll probably get quote unquote rebalanced. Can't call it a nerf. It's a launch unit. If they nerf her, people are gonna throw a fit and start a riot. Again, sorry if if I was a little all over the place or whatever. Still trying to get used to all this. So that's my version of the tier list. Most of these units I've played, I have all of them but 2, I think. And there's a handful, maybe like 3 or 4 I haven't actually played with on a team. But yeah, that is my opinion on the tier list. And if you guys have any concerns or comments, let me know. Peace.